Talk about burning all the XRP now in escrow could be quite important, though there is increasing worry that this pace will rise. Roughly 5,000 XRP are now burned every day, or 1.825 million yearly. Some have even said that daily burning reaches 25,000 XRP. Allegedly, this behavior is connected to Ripple's escrow accounts, which is interesting, and a former director of Ripple has said the company could burn all the XRP in escrow at once, which would exacerbate the situation given the apparent more conversation than just the probability that this scenario will happen, is even more fascinating since it coincides with Ripple Labs' announcement that it will acquire over $1 billion worth from the market of XRP. Many hypotheses on the possible link between Ripple's agreement with the SEC and this repurchase and escrow burn exist. The buyback is due to Ripple's ongoing SRP need. This kind of trust burn has serious effects. Every coin could be worth $10,000 if all of Ripple's escrow XRP were wiped out. Based on my research, the $10,000 per XRP may be necessary for Ripple Labs to keep running and grow its side business since the company is forming more and more alliances and requires XRP to finance these alliances. Welcome back to the site you can depend on for all things XRP. Welcome to the site you can depend on for all things XRP. There are several items we must attend to first. Your lively group will benefit from your clicking the like button, then click subscribe and ensure notifications are turned on. Hold on, something thrilling is about to take place. Many studies agree that Ripple's relationships with payment systems in other nations will cause XRP to hit $10,000. Just follow these 3 instructions to qualify for the giveaway. Be sure you are ready. Leave a hash money side in the comments and we'll distribute a large quantity of XRP after 60,000 members. A rise in the value of XRP is not only possible, but may even be required given Ripple's world partnerships expanding and depending on XRP. XRP's expansion has been nothing short of exponential, and recent public and private reports suggest that it is spreading worldwide, especially a BlackRock study that was published that suggests they want to utilize XRP for cross-border payments. The most important features of this study are underlined to show how XRP is developing into a globalized cross-border payment tool. The Central Bank of Ireland's recent statement that they plan to use XRP for cross-border transactions has only added to this drive, as it is now officially recognized as a safe and reliable payment tool. This also implies that Ripple, the company that created XRP, is now authorized virtual asset service provider. The Central Bank of Japan's use of XRP for its worldwide banking systems is a major sign that XRP has great potential in the financial sector. This is included in a bigger trend whereby more than 30 central banks are now working together to build a digital currency for central banks founded on the XRP system. Of these central banks, 19 are said to have bought XRP for more than $400 million total. This number does not even take into consideration the likelihood that the FNow instant payment system is thinking about adopting XRP for the blockchain technology is part of their payment system. This change shows that people are becoming more and more sure that XRP's technology can be used in current financial applications. One cannot understate the importance of the US Federal Reserve taking total control over Ripple Labs and XRP. A major change in the financial sector. This one seeks to stop average people from buying XRP. The Federal Reserve plans to use the Ripple system, which uses rather than developing a shared digital currency for central banks. This strategy is especially useful since big central banks use the XRP ledger and digital asset in more than 8 countries, including the BRICS countries, since it is efficient, affordable, and eco-friendly. Already working with Ripple Labs, the Federal Reserve uses the XRP and Ripple IT systems. This shows their commitment to cooperate with blockchain technology. One of their tales claims that the Fed now services cooperation with Metal blockchain for rapid conversions between fiat currency and stable coins is a major step toward merging conventional banking with decentralized finance. Right now, US residents can only use third-party apps like Venmo and PayPal or Bitcoin wallets to make fast payments inside the country. The FedNow system under construction, however, plans to include cryptocurrencies in its makeup. More than 120 companies, including new ones like US Bank and Exchange Bank, as well as payment processors and solution providers, have registered to use the FedNow service. With the possible inclusion of Ripple, digital banking will undergo a major transformation. Ripple is one fintech fintech firm under investigation for this initiative, which is widely recognized for its open-source distributed ledger technology and smart cross-border payment solutions. Stellar Lumens (XLM), another possible ally for the FedNow system, is well known for its blockchain-based payment network that accelerates and reduces the cost of international payments. This brings us back to the two main subjects of our conversation: how likely it is that the XRP will soon hit $10,000, and how probable is it that a large amount of XRP will be burned from Ripple Labs escrow. These two developments for the XRP digital currency will happen concurrently and be notable ones. The plan to burn a large amount of XRP from Ripple's lockup could be the one driving XRP's price to the expected $10,000 mark. Former Ripple director Matt Hamilton said the firm could burn all the XRP in its escrow, which has reinforced this view. Given Ripple's ongoing SEC battle, this development is especially noteworthy. A burn of this sort might be included in a settlement agreement. Among the many effects of this one is a major drop in the XRP supply, which might increase its price to $10,000. There would also be a notable drop in the amount of XRP available, therefore raising the value of every XRP token would be affected by this, since both individual and institutional purchasers' great demand for XRP drives use of digital assets, including XRP for cross-border payments. XRP's ability to handle transactions with the worldwide swaps and derivatives is remarkable, given that association is DAL alone handles more than $120 quadrillion. Given the volume and size of these, every XRP must be worth $10,000, since this paper aptly reflects the scale and shows that XRP intends to facilitate ISD transactions valued at more than $120 quadrillion. But that's just one side of the story. This number doesn't maybe include other significant players in ways that XRP is probably going to affect. It omits stories that JP Morgan and BlackRock, among other major financial companies, have started buying more than 7.5 million XRP, that SWIFT might use XRP for payments, and that SBI plans to use XRP for more transactions in Southeast Asia. Ripple's alliances, including one with a major payment corporation to improve digital asset transactions and enable cross-bettering, are not included in this